Welcome everyone to our Wednesday mastermind session. Gang, we do this every single week to improve your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your habits. And bottom line is your business, your production, your bank account balance, and your net worth, well, it's going to grow to the extent that you personally grow. So I want you to keep showing up week after week after week. Let us just add value to you and your strategies, your tactics that are going to help you build that residual, that passive income that we all love. I mean, when you know that you've got X number of dollars showing up into your account on for the 22nd of every month, man, it just feels good. It also feels good knowing that it's inheritable in the event that, like, I'm flying out to Cambridge, Massachusetts to present there on Friday, and I leave tomorrow afternoon. Heaven forbid if the plane goes down, I know that my family will be financially taken care of for years and years and years to come. No doubt about that. Now, every week I invite somebody that I perceive to be an icon of revenue share, somebody who's just out there crushing it. And today, you guys, I've got Nicole Rouseau, and I'm pronouncing that right, correct, Nicole?
You got it.
Rouseau, okay. And Nicole you're in Dallas, Texas, yes?
Dallas, Texas.
And building a large revenue share organization. You've also, kind of mastered that onboarding process to get rid of that 80% work so we can focus more on the 20% effort, no doubt about that. By the way, and being the son of Diana Kokoska, I can't stand when people say, "Oh, this is Diana Kokoska's son, Sean." So, with that said, Nicole is Gene Frederick's daughter, and as you know, many of you know, Gene Frederick has built a massive organization here at EXP, and part of the reason he was able to do that, and a big part of that, is because of Nicole and the systems that you've helped him implement and deploy within the organization to just make sure that he's consistently staying above 40 FLQAs. And what's his group size now? Is it 18,000, 19,000?
18, somewhere in there, 18 something. Yeah, 18,000.
And you're no slouch either. You're growing quickly. So talk to me about your group. How many FLQAs? How many in your total organization? What does that
My FLQA count, not as high as I want to, but I work on it every day, is 14 FLQAs, 31 FLAs, and 960 something total organization active.
Bravo, Nicole. Bravo. Way to go.
Yeah,
so real quick, let's digress. I just want I want these guys to get to know you a little bit. So tell us your story. How'd you get into real estate? How did you, find your FLQAs? I mean, what excites you about the industry? What can't you stand about it? Just open the book and read it. Well,
what excites me about the industry, and particularly this opportunity, is that, guys, this is the biggest opportunity that real estate has ever seen as a real estate agent. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And waking up to that opportunity every day is exciting in and of itself. That you don't have to be a broker owner. You don't have to have been in the industry for years, but we all get to wake up to this opportunity, and it's a massive one every single day. Like you, Sean, I just grew up in the real estate industry. My parents owned brokerages when I was a young girl. And then I kind of resisted it. I ran tanning salons after I went to UT. And but I was selling real estate part-time with my mom because I didn't want to sell tanning and run tanning salons for the national chain of tanning salons I was with for the rest of my life. It paid the bills. It was great. But the sky wasn't the limit. And I saw my mom and dad doing something where the sky was the limit, and, they were the masters of their destiny. And so eventually, although I resisted it, selling real estate part-time, in 2015, my dad sits us down at the Thanksgiving table. And if you know my dad, he gets out some paper and some Sharpies and highlighters and starts telling me about this new exciting opportunity. And at the time, they owned, 6 Keller Williams offices in a region. And we bled KW Red, like, no doubt about it. Like, we were in strong relationships with the people there. Like, we were in. So it was a shocker to see that he was excited about this company with 400 agents. I say that, but it was also exciting because I know that every single time he's ever put pen to paper with this chicken scratch, what he's drawing 100% of the time, I'm telling you guys, has come into fruition. And I've just seen that time and time again. He's just been this visionary. And I thought this could be the opportunity that I've just been waiting for. He always told me, because I ran hundreds of employees back in my corporate world days. And he said, if you put in half the effort that you're able to do there, I've seen you work, you kill it in this. And so bottom line, I quit my corporate job. I'd been with them for about 15 years. And though I had real estate experience, I wasn't a major influencer in the industry at the time. I had some connections. I had some people on the other side of realtors on other sides of transactions that I had done business with. But I say this all to say, I truly believe that anybody can learn the skill set that is needed to attract agents to EXP. I don't believe that you have had to been in the industry for X amount of time, that people need to know much about you. I believe you can learn the skills to kind of create that influence and learn the skills to attract agents. And so going back to the story, I quit my job the next day and I started following Gene around. I just started following him around. I just started learning from him. I went to his appointments. He would set up appointments 3 times a day at the corner bakery in Austin. And I just, at the time, I kind of thought that maybe my blind ambition was looking back, it just worked in my favor. I was like, that's what I have to do. Like, I can do that. I can definitely do that. So I started making phone calls, and that's when that was in 2015. And those phone calls today are the best phone calls I ever made because I was so excited. And don't get me wrong, I've evolved and learned other ways of doing this, but I was so excited that I just started calling agents in Austin, Texas. And I started with those that I knew. So I think that that's point number one. If you guys are just getting into this, or maybe you've been in it a while, but how I built my part of the business, and I've helped my dad build his organization. We in the beginning just started calling agents off of a list. We had a list, and it wasn't a CRM. It wasn't anything fancy. It was a notebook, and we just started. We would meet together every morning because at the time we were working on really mostly his group. We're just working on through. What's our agents look like? Let's look on a list. Let's look on the list. And that list would evolve by crossing out names, putting them later down on the list. Like, it was very low tech. Okay.
Right. It's like 1990s, right?
It was.
Maybe an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. Okay.
100%. But the point was we were focused on it every single day. So that's another thing I guess I could implore with you guys is that I learned through him, he was obsessed. And so I knew that in order for me to succeed at it also and do it at a high level, I needed to really just emulate that obsession and really understand that this is something that if you want to make it happen, you can't just do it as a hobby. You know what I mean? You have to be taking it serious, and really you have to have your list. So that would be step number one, is make that list and make it a breathing document that changes over time. If you think you have 10 people that might join this month or next month or in the next couple months, make sure you know that if they haven't joined, you say, okay, and you believe it in your head. Like, they didn't join in December, I'm putting them on the joining list in January because they're definitely joining in January. Right.
So having a joining list, you guys, I think that's critically important because, again, what we focus on expands. I mean, the best time to take a listing is right after you just took a listing because your energy is focused, it's changed, right? And same thing with agent attraction. And yet most people, Nicole, and I think you'll agree with me, they don't approach building revenue share like a real business, right? They just do it as a hobby. They do it when they have time. They do it when they think about it, when they're on the phone with an agent saying, oh, maybe I should ask them if they're open-minded to investigate EXP, but they don't do it on purpose. So, there's that old KW term, Nicole, I know you know it. It's moved from E to P, right? So and gang, if you don't know what that means, it means, well, the E stands for the entrepreneurial approach. The P stands for a purposeful approach. See, the entrepreneurial approach is doing what comes naturally, meaning you do it when you think about it. You don't do it on purpose necessarily. And we all have this natural ceiling of achievement, right? It's the glass ceiling, no doubt about that. Yet here's what happens. We start into revenue share. We've got this upward trajectory. We've got this energy that you're talking about, Nicole. And I love that word obsessed, by the way, because, being committed to something is no longer enough, not in today's world. I think you have to be obsessed with it, obsessed. So you started to revenue share building, you've joined EXP, and you're on this upward trajectory, right? And then you hit this natural ceiling of achievement, or what I'll call the natural ceiling of disappointment. How many of you guys have been there? Natural ceiling of disappointment. And here's what happened. We go through a couple of psychological phases. Once we hit that point of disappointment, number one is obviously, well, disappointment. I just said that. Yet the next phase is resignation, meaning maybe I'll just quit EXP. Maybe I'll just quit recruiting. I'm just going to focus on my next sale, whatever the case is. And you find yourself just getting away from that agent attraction part of the model, which is the biggest opportunity in front of you and I today, as Nicole said. And then as you go down the trend line, well, then it's on to greener pastures. Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll join Real. Maybe I'll join LPT or whatever the case is, right? And it's onto these greener pastures. And then here's the thing: we hit this natural ceiling of achievement again, and then it's disappointment, it's resignation, it's onto greener pastures. And I see people do this in real estate sales all the time, and it drives me absolutely insane. Meaning, okay, I'm going to call for sale by owners. So they start calling for sale by owners, right? They improve their knowledge, their skills, they practice. Then they hit that natural ceiling of achievement. Oh, nobody's listing with me. So disappointment, resignation, on to greener pastures. Now, no, I'm going to go after expired listings, right? And yet tenacity is the key here, guys. It's the masters of monotony that are going to get on this in this world. And this revenue share building, it's a marathon, you guys. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's going to take you years to get to 40 FLQAs. Yet it's that tenacity. It's just that repetitive. So again, entrepreneurial approach, where you're doing it the best you can do it, you're just not doing it the best it can be done. The purposeful approach is focus, models, systems, technology, leverage through people. You're going to break through that natural ceiling of achievement on to extraordinary results. And that's why we've invited Nicole here today, because she has proven that tenacity, and she's just out there crushing it, as she said, every day. All right. So number one, Nicole, back to what you were saying, build your list. If you don't know who you're going to call, you're not going to call anybody.
So true. Yeah.
What's step number two? What do you think?
Number two, the purpose you have that list is to make contacts from that list, right? And so number two, I kind of incorporate two things: schedule and making the phone calls. And when I say schedule, it's uncompromised. That's what I've learned. I went through that ceiling at one point, like you guys. I took my foot off the gas several times throughout this journey, and I call it a journey for a reason. I'm learning as I go, but I took my foot off the gas because when I joined, there was no huge success story. It was hard to see like the bigger picture of people who had done it. And so it was like when people would say no, it would create some doubt, not only in myself, but also in maybe the model at times, right? And so then I had to kind of, I went through that whole journey in the process of getting back into it, realizing where I was in the place of real estate history, and doing exactly what I'm telling you step two is, which is recommitting to a schedule of no matter what, 3 days a week, I'm making contacts, outbound contacts for 3 hours a day. That's no matter what. And I've recently picked back up, and the momentum has picked up. And so yeah, that would be number two, Sean, is uncompromised scheduled call time.
Well, we know that if it's not in your schedule, you guys, it doesn't exist. Yeah. No doubt about that. So time block the time, treat it like a $5 million listing appointment. I'm not kidding. You wouldn't no-show that appointment, right? Yeah, and you definitely wouldn't show up unfocused. You'd be focused on that potential seller for a $5 million listing. There's no doubt about that. So just treat it like that. And yet so many times we treat it like, oh, that doesn't matter. You'll say yes to some of you are begging for distractions during your time block. Am I right? Somebody please interrupt me. Somebody please call me, text me, because I don't want to do what I'm doing right now yet. It's about tenacity. It's about consistency. And the compounding effects of that, you guys, are unsurmountable at EXP, no doubt. All right. So Nicole, back to your strategy. So build your list, time block the time. If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist, right? What's step number three?
Number three, make appointments, and the appointment type can can vary based on, have you talked to them before about EXP? Is it going to be a third-party validation call? Is it the first time you're talking to them about EXP? Are they in your market? Can you maybe meet them for coffee? Or are you presenting the model? The goal is to present the EXP business model. But what I've learned through the years is relationship building needs to occur if you don't already know them. So making sure you have time, that the appointment is not just barfing EXP. You're not just the person to show up and press play and show them EXP or get so excited about something if you don't know them, right? So building the rapport, what I've learned in recent years has led to greater success for me is I'm asking them questions to figure out where the pain points are, questions to figure out what their dreams are, questions to figure out what keeps them up at night. So I get to know who they are, what their experience is, and where they want to go. And if I get to know that, then I can tailor everything in alignment with that so they feel like I care about what's in it for them, right? Not just, oh yeah, I'm so excited about this best opportunity in real estate, revenue share. How many of you guys realize not everybody gives a flip about revenue share? You know? Like,
even though it's the biggest opportunity, it's like, come on, you can drag that horse to water. You just can't force it to drink, right? I have been guilty of trying to shove the head under the water, if you know what I mean. Just make them take a few swallows, because once they understand what that feels like, what that looks like, then man, they'll recognize the biggest opportunity in front of them. So at the same time, I've been guilty of that, Nicole, and I needed that today. I needed to hear that from you because, you know, I'm a direct individual. I'm bottom line, and I consider myself kind of a business person, right? So I want to get right into business, and I just want to just hammer it down their throat sometimes. And you're 100% right, though. Without that rapport, without that trust, they're probably not going to shift EXP, or maybe they will, but they just won't do it under me.
Exactly. I've learned that through experience. I've been the one to recruit a whole slew of people to EXP, but because I wasn't the one that they had the relationship with, even though I recruited them, they went with their cousin or whoever, right? Somebody they know in the business, whatever it is, just like in real estate sales, how that happens sometimes. But when I've taken the approach of bringing value to them by understanding who they are, and then maybe actually it's not all the time about, after I've shown them the model, lots of people aren't ready to go right away. It's then about, okay, how can I invite them to continue to invite them to value of some type? And so that would be another thing you can do, because a lot of people if they don't join when I showed them EXP, the conversation's over and I never talk to them again. And that's a mistake, right? So you want to have some system in place to track your relationship and what you've done and what you've talked about with your agent prospect, right? And so I learned that.
Speaking to that, Nicole, and
go ahead.
Yeah, well, speaking to that, and you are, in my humble opinion, you are spot on, because you can't just keep calling them about EXP over and over and over and over again, right, Nicole? Because if you do, what do they ultimately do?
They ultimately are going to start ignoring you and ghosting.
Exactly. They're going to ghost you. They're going to block your number. They're not going to respond to your texts. So I'm going to offer this to everybody in the organization, everybody within this Zoom meeting. All you have to do is go to iconcoaching.com, register for the Accelerated Breakthrough Mastermind. We do it every Tuesday. It's very similar to this kind of format, yet it's not about EXP. It's all about how to improve their sales volume, their income, their bank account balance, their net worth. And if we consistently reach out to them to say, hey, I attended the Tuesday mastermind last week, and here's what was said, here's what I learned. Can you show up this next Tuesday? And you're just coming from contribution, right? Or go out and start your own mastermind. Seriously, just start your own mastermind, make it happen. Yet if you want to leverage what we're doing here, we don't want to charge you anything for it. We just want to add value to people. And I don't care if there's one person on that call or if there's 1,000 people on that call, we're still going to do that call. And we're not even going to talk about EXP. And I think that's part of the key. That's part of the secret sauce of lead follow-up, where the easiest way to build rapport, gain trust, loyalty with people is through education. Would you agree with that, Nicole?
Absolutely.
I mean, when you teach somebody something, they automatically want to trust you, and then you can leverage that trust to create a more professional relationship. So with our lead follow-up here, after I've explained the EXP model, they didn't join right away. Maybe something's going on in the world. They say, it's not a no, it's just a not now. I'm not going to follow up and pester them about EXP over and over and over. I'm just simply going to invite them to that Tuesday call every week. And I might have had a conversation with somebody 4 months ago. We invite them every single week with our email automations through CRM Grow. And it's 4 months later, and they finally take the time. They show up to the call. And then we get to pour into them. We get to add value to them. And guess what? It gives me a great reason to follow up after the fact, right?
Yeah.
What'd you gain from today? What would you recommend that I change about the format that would maybe make it a little bit better for you the next time you attend? And by the way, I want you to consistently show up week after week. And because our relationship started in the context of EXP, ultimately they say to me, well, what's happening at EXP? Tell me about your RevShare group. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. And it just brings them right back. And it's a natural pull. Okay. You understand, it's like a magnet that pulls them back to me rather than me, chasing them. See, I don't want to chase people. See, if I chase them and convince them and sell them on joining EXP, well, then guess what? I'm probably going to have to sell them to stay at EXP at some point in the near future. All right, Nicole, keep going. This is awesome, by the way. You're so good. Keep going.
Well, appreciate that. So then the next thing is after you, I'd say you really need to figure out in your CRM or however you keep track your next action, because when you don't have a next action, they're going to go away. And a lot of times, like Sean's saying, the next action isn't just to call them and say, how's it going? Have you thought about EXP? What'd you think about that last time we talked? It's not that. It is an invitation to value of some type. Like we're doing a business planning clinic coming up. Actually tomorrow yesterday, my phone call list was all about inviting to the business planning clinic. So things like that. Right now is a great time as well, I think, because checking in with people just to see how their business is going in the market shift. You guys realize that when people's businesses are going down, who do they blame? If you think about it, what's the first person that they look sometimes to blame? And well, I'm giving all this money to my broker, and what are they really doing for me, right? And so we're in the perfect climate for these phone calls to be made to just check in, see how they're doing, and then make it to where not only are you checking in to see how they're doing, but then you're inviting them to something. So I have a list of things we have coming up. We always have something to invite them to. And I think that's critical. When somebody shows interest, the next step, it normally for me, and I think you guys do this as well, Sean, but it's a third-party validation call. My success goes way up when I implement the third-party validation call. And I would recommend, if you guys don't know how to do that very well yet, or you don't know that skill, Casey Council at Brent Gove's Tahoe Mastermind, YouTube search that, and it's brilliant. So third-party calls, I mean, they make a huge difference. So employ the people in your upline or in your sidelines. There's tons of people that you can use. Get to know different people's stories in the company. If you're talking to an independent broker who's thinking about coming over, maybe the third-party validation goes to an independent broker who made the move, right? So always be thinking, who could I pair this person with to relate to them to where it would, not only edify myself, but edify the company and the person that you're introducing them to. So that would be the next step, Sean, third-party validation.
And I love it. Yeah, so many times, Nicole, and I'm going to be totally transparent with you guys. There are so many times that I think I don't need that third-party validation. I can do this all by myself, right? I want to be the guy, right? And my ego kind of kicks in and takes over, and I don't get that third-party validation. And guess what? The person doesn't maybe shift as quickly as they could have or should have because I didn't do it. So I think the lesson here is you must subject the needs of your own ego to the size of your revenue share organization.
Right.
To edify other people, make them look better than you look, to drop the ego, just let it go and let somebody else help you get them across the finish line. So great. Thank you for that, Nicole. Again, so many great reminders today. Keep going.
Speaking of these,
if you don't mind, I saw some comments here, people asking questions about website and things like that. So let me just share my screen just real fast. I want to show you guys how to do this. And there's a couple of things I want you to do. Number one, I want you to go to our website. It's iconcoaching.com. I want you to go to the events tab, the Attraction in Action Mastermind. That's what we're on today. The Accelerated Breakthrough. This is the Tuesday call. It's at 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Pacific, every single week. And all you have to do is click that, go ahead and register to attend, and you're going to receive the Zoom meeting link. You can take that Zoom meeting link, invite your candidates, the people that you're tracking through this process of conversion. And by the way, if you want to see some replays, you want to see what you've missed out on, just scroll on down. And what you're going to see is the Don't Miss a Thing section. Click View Replays. And guys, you're going to see hundreds and hundreds of videos. And it's all about how to improve your sales volume. So, rather than, opening up Netflix when you can't sleep at 11 o'clock at night, I want you to go to iconcoaching.com. I want you to watch some of those videos. Some might put you to sleep and that's what you want. Yet others, I'm kidding. Yet you're going to extract value. You're going to know what to do, know how to do it. So I'd encourage you, go to iconcoaching.com. Invite those people that you're tracking through the conversion process to attend that Tuesday afternoon session, guys. There's nothing better out there to attract agents, I'm telling you, other than live events. And this is a live event. It's just not in person. But so with that said, a couple of other things. Excuse me. I want you to go to the top of the chat. In fact, Tim, Mr. Ventura, would you mind just post that YouTube link again for our YouTube channel?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We want you guys to join that because, we're posting videos just like this every single week. It's just going to add value. It's going to improve your knowledge and skills. Second, I want you to join our private Facebook group. Okay. So again, we're posting videos, we're answering questions, we're adding additional special content to that Facebook page. So I would definitely encourage you to join both of those things, as well as the Accelerated Breakthrough Mastermind on a weekly basis. All of this stuff is free, guys. We're not here to rake you over the coals or take your money. We're here
to Coaching YouTube channel has 164 subscribers, which isn't a lot.
No, we just started it, Bill. Yeah, we just started it. Seriously, Tim, 10 days ago? We launched
so we were uploading videos to, we've been using Wistia and we're still using Wistia. And so we wanted to start building that out, and the Icon community as well. And so, if you guys are able to go in there and register, we are going to start using the heck out of those. You're going to be able to get questions answered in real time and all sorts of stuff. So in the Icon, sorry, not in the YouTube channel, in the Icon community.
Yeah. So please join that. All right, Nicole, back to you. You're doing such a great job, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Where were we?
Sorry to interrupt you, but you just brought up a point that I had to underline and put an exclamation mark behind it to subject the needs of your own ego to the size of your revenue share organization.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that, I've had to check mine many times. Our ego is what gets in the way whenever we are afraid to pick up the phone and we're afraid of what people are going to think, right? Or for a while there, I was so involved with my organization where I felt like I had to be the one doing all the EXP presentations. And that was an ego-driven ambition because I was, oh, look what I'm doing. I'm doing all the presentations. But if I wasn't going to duplicate what I was doing, then my front line would suffer, because I look at it as a two-pronged business. I have my frontline business and I have my organizational business, right? And they're two different things. And if you kind of take your eye off of one, the other might suffer. So it's kind of been a journey where I'm figuring out where to spend my time, but my time was not best spent doing every EXP Explain presentation for the organization, right? So anyway, you made me think of that there, Sean. But in the process of continuing to invite, eventually you want to get back to asking the right questions to see where the person is over the course of the time that you've been, what I think of it is almost like you're going on dates, right? And so closing is a very important thing, but I've learned that if you do it the right way, it does come easier and organically, but you're always asking questions as to where they are in their mindset towards EXP, or where they're at with their current broker on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being you're perfectly happy, 10 being you have like 1 foot out the door already. Where are you? And get them to answer that. Well, if they're a 7, great. What would it take to make that a 10? Like, what are we missing here? So kind of going back and getting some, I know Sean's a beast at this, but having some good scripts and dialogues to where, you know, you eventually want to get them over here. And so invitations until eventually they get in. And that's where the next stage of recruiting comes in my opinion, which is onboarding. If you do not onboard them correctly, you could lose them. And if you just leave it to EXP to do it, you're not giving them the best service, I will tell you that. And EXP's come a long way since 2015 in the onboarding department. But what I've done is built a system to take somebody from start to finish, from application basically to fully active, to introduction to their EXP systems and introduction into our organizational tools and systems in a very kind of like systematic approach. And I think that that's been something that has been critical for our success.
Love it, Nicole. Fantastic. I mean, so much value here, so much value, no doubt about that. By the way, each and every one of you can either unmute yourself to ask Nicole questions or me questions or anybody questions for that matter, and or you can move your mouse down to the bottom third of your screen there, and you're going to see a toolbar appear. You're going to see the reactions icon. Click that, and there's a little bar that says raise hand. So if you have something on your mind and you want to ask a question, I see a couple of hands up already. Way to go. Feel free to participate with us today. Guys, how you participate on this Zoom meeting is how you're going to participate in building your revenue share organization. You understand that? So the more you participate here, the more you're going to participate there. And I see, Rizwana, your hand is up. Let's go to you.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, fantastic. Thanks.
Good. So here's a question I get a lot, especially from like the agents who've been in the business 20, 30 years. Their question is, well, I definitely need an office and I'm not opening up my own office. So how is your objection for that, for those agents who are very adamant about, I need office space?
Well, there are lots of
thoughts.
Oh, go ahead, Sean.
Oh, I just said, Nicole, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts on that is, number one, there are lots of EXP agents that have office space. You don't have to give up office space. And there's a number of ways that they go about getting office space, whether they open up a branch office. If you guys know what that process looks like, they can get, rent some space, put EXP logo on the building if they want, whether they have the Regus, which we all have access to Regus, live in-person locations where you can, I'm at one right now. You can rent an office space at a discount there. You have access to all the communal space there. You have conference rooms, coffee, all that. If you don't have a home office, right? The third one, I think that this is so massively underutilized and undershown, I think, by us as EXP agents, is the EXP Cloud Office. Like, it is a full service brokerage that blows my mind every time I walk in there to talk to a broker. Blows my mind every single time. And so if you're not articulating and showing that value of what happens in the EXP world, then they're thinking there is no office, but that's not true. Our office is there, it's in the cloud. And so to really show the value of that, I think is something that we don't do often enough. And maybe we don't believe it enough, but prove to yourself by going in there how awesome it is. You'll be blown away every time you go in there.
Yeah. Jennifer, I see your post. It's immediate, no doubt about that. Now, it's been said that instant gratification isn't fast enough anymore, yet EXP has gotten as close to that as any other brokerage I've been associated with. I was with RE/MAX, loved my time there. Don't get me wrong. My managing broker was a competing broker building his own book of business. And, oftentimes he would get a relocation client in from out of town for 3, 4, 5 days in a row. And it was sometimes days, if not many hours, before I could get his time and his attention to answer a question. EXP world, totally different. There's never been a time that I logged into the world with a question that I wasn't in and out within like 5 minutes with the answer to the question. It's that good, right, Nicole?
Yeah.
That good. Right on. So great way to overcome that objection. By the way, I think Regus is a major benefit for realtors when they choose to take advantage of it, because you're now working side by side and rubbing shoulders with people like financial planners, attorneys, CPAs, insurance agents, people who can refer you business. If you're in a traditional brokerage, well, every other person in that office suite, well, they're a licensed agent, aren't they? What are the chances they're going to send you a referral? They're going to buy with you, list with you. It's not going to happen, no doubt about that. Yet working out of a Regus space, well, it gives you an opportunity to create additional relationships. And I'll tell you what, everything that I've ever gained in business, it's been because of a relationship, no doubt about that. And Nicole, I'm so grateful for our relationship with Gene, and how much you guys have helped Icon Coaching. And thank you for doing that. I mean, you know that it's win-win all the way around. And we love that. Love that. Love partners like you guys, no doubt. All right. So keep going, Nicole. What else is on your mind today?
Well, I mean, I see some other hands. I have to be honest with you, Sean, I had 30 minutes blocked for this. I have to jet by 10 till 12. So I have about 12 more minutes. So I don't know why I had 30 minutes blocked for it, but
let's go to Stacy Bird.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hammer through this real quick. I apologize for that, Nicole, but thank you.
You bet. I apologize. I don't know why it was 30 minutes on there, but okay, go ahead.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey, so Stacy.
I love you.
Love you.
Just a big question for you that will help discover their pain point. What's your favorite question that you like to ask them to get the appointment?
What keeps you up at night?
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to know what keeps you up at night, because think about that. I mean, how many of you guys have nights where you have the racing thoughts of the things that cause you the most anxiety, and a lot of them are business related. I mean, we're entrepreneurs. If you're not worried about something, I mean, congratulations, but lots of people are. And so to find out what those are, what are those things that you're like fearful of? What scares you a little bit, you know? So finding that out, I think, is a huge one. That's my favorite one.
That is powerful. No doubt about that. Well, we've all heard the phrase, meet them where they're at. And until you ask that question, you have no idea where they're at. In fact, many times they have no idea where they're at. So questions are the one thing that are going to help you, just move to that position of rapport, no doubt about it. Let them talk. See, the person talking during the conversation, well, sure, they dominate it, yet the person asking questions controls it. Way to go, Nicole. Great answer. Paul Martin, over to you.
Hey, Nicole, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm good. I actually have I have about 166 agents. I'm looking to see what's the 20% to go to from where I'm at to 1,000? What was that breakthrough for you?
That's an awesome question, Paul. I think it was when I started realizing that if I'm not working through people, then my organization's not going to grow. And so what I mean by that is when you onboard somebody, and the best time to do it, and you don't have to, I mean, you can still go towards the other, your group and kind of pick up after the fact, but they're super excited the day that they join. So one of the first things I do when I get them onboarded, let's do an exclusive call just for you. How many agents could you invite to a Zoom call? And then do that kind of introductory event just for them to get them, hey, if they invite 20 and even one of them comes, they understand, and now they have somebody under them that they're getting revenue share off of. So they're more inclined to come to calls like this. So I think that is a huge thing, is to make sure if it doesn't duplicate, if you're not replicating downward, like there's a few people in the company that really went wide real fast, but to go wide, I mean, if you're not going deep, to wide almost doesn't matter, right? So really get some duplication and always be on the lookout. And it's not always easy to tell, but I'm always thinking somebody that I really admire and respect that has a lot of influence. When I call them, I really kind of go for it just by saying, look, I admire you. You're killing it here, here, here. There's really nobody I'd rather partner with in business. Can we please talk about what a partnership would look like? And getting those types of people into your organization, when people that end up being generals, is key. Because if you don't have that, duplication is a lot slower, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I think those two things, Paul, would be what I would say. I don't know what you have to say about that, Sean.
Oh, just 2 words. Spot on. You nailed it. I love it. I'll just underline what you said. I want to get through the other questions before you have to go. We've got Michael Flanagan. Take it away, Michael.
You said Flanagan, I hope. So you were talking about CRM? Did you say Flanagan? This is Michael Flanagan. Perfect.
Yep.
CRM Grow, you said you use, right, Sean, for your texting, these texts for the invites. Was that correct?
I do, yes. Several automations on that platform.
And for the onboarding.
Love CRM Grow, by the way. And $49 a month, you guys, that is such a steal. Like at Icon, we use Infusionsoft. You know, I'll spend $1,200 a month on that, or maybe a little bit more. And it doesn't do half the things that CRM Grow does. No doubt about that. Yet, guys, that is the #1 tool, in my humble opinion, for you to track your candidates, to send them automations. The watch meter on the videos is critically important to you, tracking them through kind of the interest meter, if that makes sense. You send them an email with a video, you send them a text with a video. When they click to watch that, you're notified that they watched the video. And how much of the video did they watch? Like one of the videos I send out, guys, is 48 minutes. And if they watch all 48 minutes of that video, I know that this is the easiest recruiting call that I'll ever have. It's so cool, so fun. So Michael, I encourage you, by the way, when you get an account, there's a little circle up at the top of the screen. It's got a little question mark in there. I would encourage you to click that and go down and click live training. They do live training 3 days a week, because the best CRM tool for agent attraction is the one you know how to use. And they do this in a live format. You can ask questions, get answers. It's so powerful, no doubt about that. Thank you, Michael.
Also, let's just go to a quick follow-up, if that's okay. Renee, do you use that for CRM Grow? Do you use that for onboarding? And do you do any training for onboarding? I'd love to learn more about that.
Oh, that's a question for me?
Yep.
Yeah. I use Follow Up Boss for onboarding. I'm happy to do a Zoom training for all, you know, if you guys want to come up with a time and date for this group that wants to see exactly my onboarding system and CRM start to finish, I'm happy to do that. So just let me know. But I think
that would be really beneficial. And I also want to underline that, because Nicole and your team, you do all of my onboarding. I mean, seriously, you take all that 80% stuff off of my plate so that I can focus on the 20% effort. I don't want to get sucked down in the weeds on the 80% stuff. And Nicole, you have trained a bunch of people on how to do this for us, which is so phenomenal. It's really the reason that they aligned under Gene and the team there, because in fact, when I was thinking about joining EXP and I was this close to joining, I said to Gene, I said, I see a major problem with this model, and that is the onboarding process. And now it's a problem not for EXP, it's my problem. I just didn't want to be sucked down into the 80% work. I want to give my time, my energy to the 20% effort, to practice, to lead gen, lead follow-up, go on appointments, and negotiate your transfer. That's what I want to focus on. That 80% stuff, which is the onboarding sequence. Nicole, you and your team take all of that off my plate. I'm eternally grateful. Seriously, I owe you a major debt of gratitude, because it became so easy through this process. So
I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm so happy. Right. I believe in it. So I appreciate your words, Sean. Thank you.
My pleasure. We got 3.5 minutes left. John Mendelson, over to you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add on to the question that I saw pop up a number of times in the chat about having an office space. And I think the person who mentioned it said, you know, talking to brokers or agents who have been in for 15, 20, 25 years, attach their office. There is some really good solid data saying that the highest probability of an agent moving is between years 2 and 4. And so I never, ever, ever get the office question anymore at all, ever, because I'm not looking for agents that have been in the business for 25 years. I'm looking for agents who are capping agents who've been in the business for 3 to 10 years. And it literally never comes up at all anymore. So you can kind of, you know, steer clear of that question by creating, you know, an avatar of an agent that you're looking for, and then going after that agent. But I will tell you that if they've been in the business less than 7 years, I haven't had a single person, and I talked to a lot of people, I haven't had a single person bring up the office lately.
Yep. And
that's awesome, John. Way to go.
I think it also comes up less since COVID. And the amount of people that actually go and spend time in their office, that number has gotten way small over the course of the past decade. So yeah, it doesn't happen as much as you would think. Awesome. Thanks for adding that.
Way to go, John. Thank you. And who is Zoom user? We're going to go over to you. Go ahead and unmute yourself as well, please. Thank you. Good job.
It's Carrie Phelps. I don't know why he always says that. I need to like figure that out. I just had a quick question. So the onboarding, I would love to connect with you, Nicole, and figure out, I think I'm under Gene too. So can I just connect with you to onboard, or more knowledge on how to do that? Just because I do have some more people coming and I really want to focus on building this year. I want to make sure that they have a great experience.
Absolutely. If I'm on Workplace, whoever, I'll tell you, just for anybody who's interested in learning more about onboarding, message me on Workplace, but make sure you let me know that you are on Sean Kokoska's meeting today, and I'll send out a link and a time that hopefully works for the majority of you guys. And if it doesn't work for you, let me know, and I can do another follow-up, but I'm happy to do that.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. My other question was answered.
Awesome. Thank you.
Wonderful. So guys, I'm going to post to the chat real quick a interview that I did with a guy named Rob Stein. Now, he developed a program called Onboarding Autopilot that through a digital format and a do-it-yourself format, it will help you onboard agents. It's very inexpensive, and I encourage you to check that out. So I just posted a link to the chat. I didn't name the link, but I did name it out loud, so you should be able to get there. Nicole, thank you. God, you're awesome. And love your dad, love your mom. Your whole family is just amazing, and look forward to the next time we get to spend some one-on-one time. No doubt about that. So thank you for being here and just pouring into these people. Any final thoughts, parting words?
No, I adore you, Sean. You're awesome. Every time we talk and every time I hear you do something, I'm always blown away by everything that you do. Even the way that you talk, I'm like, it's like, I know, like that whole pause thing and then call to action, like you do that so well. It's like I know what he's doing and it's working. But anyway, I love it. So, and everybody on this call, please, if you want to talk to me, reach out. We're one big family here, and I just appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole.
You bet.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, by the way, just last thought for you guys before I let you go. I would encourage you to go up in the chat. In fact, Paul Hellum, if you wouldn't mind posting that one more time. I mean, if you find yourself in a position that maybe you want a little bit of help, I want you to click the scheduling link. I want you to get with my right-hand guy here, Paul Hellum. He's a consultant with Icon Coaching, and he's going to help you solve at least one significant challenge within your current model, your current strategy, and it's going to help you get more traction around attraction. And or if you want to build your sales production, that's something else we do here at Icon Coaching. Guys, we got many coaching programs, some very inexpensive, some very expensive, and yet I just encourage you to improve your knowledge, skills, mindset, and habits. There's shortcuts out there. And we've created the system. We've created the plan. Left foot here, right foot there, left foot here, right foot there. The trail is blazed. All you have to do is step on the stepping stones. Don't go wander off into the forest, okay? Seriously, we can help guide your steps. Sometimes you can't see the label from inside the bottle, you understand. And we can help you solve those problems quickly, effectively, and get you to that higher level of income. And I know that's what you all want. So you guys, thank you for your time, your energy, your focus, your attention. Tim Ventura, thanks for being here today as well. In fact, Tim, can you stick around for another 9 minutes and answer any questions they might have about the website, how to get access to certain videos and or content, scripts, dialogues, objection handlers? Can you stick around? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. You are in fact the host. So I do have to jump. Thank you all for your time, your energy, your focus. Until we talk again next time, just be on purpose, be productive. And as always, be powerful. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, everybody. So again, I am your host for the next 9 minutes. So let me do this. Let me run everybody through the website really quick. And sorry, I was not prepared. Usually I have all this stuff up online.
Hey, Tim, while you're getting that squared away, let me jump in here real quick. So I've been getting a lot of people asking a lot of questions about the cold agent attraction. And I'm kind of going to steal obviously a page from the Kokoska book. And I'm going to start running just a free mastermind, just like similar to this, on Fridays at noon Central Time, that is going to be talking about what I do with cold agent attraction, attracting agents that you don't know. And so, Sean and I are partnered on a few things with that. And so I'm just going to start running one on Friday, noon Central. If anybody is interested, just put it in the text, or not in the text, in the chat. And then I'll just print, or I'll copy the chat at the end of this, and I'll send everybody a Zoom link invite.
Okay. So thanks, John. So let me do this. Let me share my screen really quick. And again, let me apologize, everybody. I used to do this all the time, but I was prepared. So this would be a lesson in preparedness. So if everybody who is still here can see my screen, this is the Icon Coaching website. As Sean mentioned, if you go here, the place that we would love you to go is you can do the book now button or the free consultation button. We have lots and lots of buttons all over the website. This takes you to our rebuilt book a consultation page. I'm really pleased about this. The whole thing is just streamlined. We're trying to make it easier for you to schedule a call with Paul Hellam on our team. Paul is going to give you, he'll give you the in-depth, and he's been working with agents for well over a decade, going on a couple of decades. So he's going to be able to help you solve a challenge today. Usually he can help agents solve several easy challenges, in one session. And he'll be able to tell you about our programs, tell you about, are you a fit for coaching? Does it work for you, and where you should be? So, definitely go to our website and take a look there. We also have a resources page. This is on the website. I would recommend this. We've got some blog articles, Sean's past celebrity interviews. Yes, we do have Mark Spain, Lance Loken, all of those folks. And for anyone who doesn't know who's on this call, Sean coached Mark Spain's team. He's coached Lance Loken. He's coached all of the top people at the market. We also have, I would strongly recommend, if anybody hasn't seen this, and again, this is in the resources tab, real estate scripts, or just go to resources and you can select it. These are video scripts. And again, this is why we're using the Wistia platform. That there's no cost to register for these. Basically, this is Sean delivering scripts for each and every major situation you're going to run into, right? And so, these are definitely worth using. The thing that I like about these is, and I don't want to play these because the sound will confuse things, but so this is Sean actually delivering the script. There we go. Okay, it's playing with no sound. That's perfect. So you can see Sean actually delivering the script, right? So you'd be able to match his cadence and tempo and all that stuff. And that's important, right? Having the script is one thing. Being able to deliver it is something completely different. So those are all in the resources tab. The other place that I would suggest you go, and in fact, this is in chat. You can look it up too. You can just Google YouTube Icon Coaching. YouTube, it'll take you there. We are starting to put all of our new videos up on our YouTube channel. We've had this channel for quite a while. Again, we're using Wistia for it. And so we're starting to just push this thing out there. Please subscribe. We got like 172 subscribers. We want to get this thing up into the hundreds and then the thousands, right? And this just adds free value to what you guys are doing. The other thing is on Facebook. And again, I have a link in chat. The Icon community. This is brand new. We're already at 949 members. I'm really excited about this. We've got 6 folks from today's call who have just requested. I'm going to go in there and approve you guys in just a sec. The Icon community is an awesome way for you guys to interact and learn and grow. And as you can see, we're posting links to the videos there. And actually, this link is going to take you right back to YouTube. So I think that's just about everything for today. And again, iconcoaching.com. If you want to learn how we can help you, book a consultation with Paul Hellam. Okay, so everyone, we are just about the top of the hour. This is going to, our pumpkin will turn in, or our chariot will turn back into a pumpkin here. John, did you have something quickly?
Yeah, Tim, I just wanted to say, I know you're the behind the scenes guy 95% of your life. You've done a great job with the website. You know, I've been the Icon coaching stuff. I've obviously been going to it for months and months and months now, but over the last probably 60 days.
Thanks.
I mean, it's just a tremendous, you did a great job. I almost want to reach out to you and pay to rebuild my coaching company website, but you did a great job on it. And I just wanted to give you a little props for that. Same with the Facebook group and YouTube. So
yeah,
you're doing awesome. Thanks, Tim.
Well, again, Sean is absolutely tremendous, right? And my hope is just to be able to showcase, you know, I mean, he is absolutely tremendous. And, you know, I guess I would say, and I'm a biased audience, so people may not believe me, but, you know, you meet a lot of people in real estate, in any profession in life, you meet a lot of people like in private who are different than they are in public. That's not Sean. He is humble. He is gracious. He is every bit the person he portrays himself as being in public, anytime, anywhere, you know, and so, you know, I think Gene Frederick had said this. We had Gene's daughter on today. Sean is a wonderful human being. He's a business genius. He's been at the absolute top of the real estate market. But the thing that I love about him is he is a truly wonderful human being. So.
And I can second that because I've been spending a lot of time with him lately. And it's just like, when is this guy going to stop pouring into me all this great stuff? And he just doesn't. So it's changed So I just encourage everybody on the call to like get dialed into the website. There's so much good content on there. I have no, you know, benefit from it whatsoever, but it is absolutely the best thing on agent attraction in the industry today. So, so nice work with you, Tim.
Thanks, John. And so on that note, let me close things down. As you guys can see, I'm fighting a cold too. Tis the season, as they say. But so everybody, thank you again. I hope to see everyone here next week. John, you have a wonderful, wonderful week yourself. And if you guys need help, you know, we are online. We're there to help all of you.
Thanks, Tim.